Hi everyone, my name is Idalia. I'm, like everybody calls me, Nurse C. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and if you've been following me already, you know that I haven't done any video or proper video introducing myself. So I decided, let me create a video so I can share a little bit more about myself, my ups and downs, my career journey so far, and what led me to really create this YouTube channel for. The easiest way to describe myself, I'm like kind of a Florence Nightingale of the 21st century. I really like nursing. I really like public health from a health systems and policy perspective and innovation perspective. I really like technology and innovation. So I thought perhaps I could create this channel to really create a mission and a culture around nursing to empower nurses to take ownership of their careers and really share with you, all of you, a little bit more about my career so far, where I've learned so far, and also about the opportunities that I really had that I'm so grateful of. And now I want to share with others and empower others to do exactly the same or, achieve even better things than I did. So this is the aim, this is the goal. And also because a few months ago I did some education to some nurses in, less resourced countries and with less education. And I really saw the need and the demand for a nursing training that could be easy and accessible to others. So I decided to create this YouTube channel to do exactly that, to create this publicly available resource where nurses can educate themselves for free, fully provide better care to patients long term and provide better outcomes. So here I am. So I decided to share with you a little bit my journey. I'm a very unconventional nurse. I initially did everything by the book, but then I suddenly realized I'm a not by the book person and I really like to do different things. So I want to share with you a little bit more my pathway over the last 10 years, what I've achieved so far, and more of the things that I'm really passionate about and want to do in the future. I was born in Switzerland. My parents are Portuguese. My parents immigrated to Switzerland, and once I was 2-3 years, I went back to Portugal. Aunt looked after me. She really embedded the curiosity, the culture, the artistic pathways, and she was also a doctor, so she really pushed me hard to do well in school. But obviously when my parents arrived, I had other plans, of course. And my parents don't have a degree, so obviously the way that they educated me was a little bit different. Obviously they wanted me to work hard. I wanted to work hard. Then I did my high school, and I was very lucky to go into a very good school in Portugal, which is a private school, but it's publicly funded in those local areas. So I really had a good education and a school that really embedded the values, giving back to others, culture, doing things for the community, and achieve the best as you can. I always wanted to work internationally, so I used all the opportunities that I had to go abroad, considering the opportunities that I had. So I did go to the European Parliament to discuss some policies when I was in high school. Then once I finished high school, I went to study nursing. I always knew that I wanted to be a nurse. I love being a nurse. I love doing that type of work. I really love provide really good quality of care. Then I decided, and I always knew my path, so I know what I want. I said to myself that I'm gonna be a nurse, then I'm gonna do my MBA. After a while, I'm gonna have my own business, my own consultancy business in strategy and innovation around nursing. So I always knew what I wanted to do. So now I'm on the steps towards that pathway. Then I went to nursing. With all my savings, I used to work over the weekends sometimes to catch some money, and on the holidays, spend all that money that I had in an English course back in Canada so I could improve my English. And I love that experience. It was the first experience that I really had abroad, and I loved it so much. I met so many incredible people, and I said, I really want to work in this multicultural environment as soon as I can. So I knew that would be the way. Following that, I had the opportunity to do an Erasmus program back in Turkey as well, where I really enjoyed it. Of course, I would enjoy it. It's always the best. I got lucky as well. I got a Fulbright scholarship in the States to go to Philadelphia on a program called Civic Activism, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, it was a breath of fresh air. It was fantastic. Finally, I really met people that I really connected with in a way that, were just very different. And I really always felt I didn't fit in the normal nursing school that I was in. I didn't have the same way of thinking. I had completely different goals, so I always felt I didn't fit in very well. I didn't do the praxes, what we call in Portuguese. So I always been very different and thought very different. But when I went to Fulbright, it was the first time that felt connected. So as we call us, the bunch of cleverly weirdos. So I think that describes us really well. So following that, I finished my degree and I came to the UK like many other nurses at the time through those massive recruitment campaigns, like many other nurses and went to Kingsland. And that was my first experience here in the UK in a hospital. I worked in the cardiology ward. I knew that place was not for me because, if I wanted to really grow my skill sets and, I always had my ambition to do my master's as soon as I can, save as much as I can. So I knew that I wouldn't be there very long. So I stayed a year, although it was great because, we had a good Portuguese community. I had all the farmers that could sell all the vegetables. I love fresh food. People get to know each other. So a small environment, and I always wanted to come to London. So I had this, I met this fantastic cardiologist, which she knows who she is, and she said always to me, just go to London, go to Royal Brompton. You're not doing here anything. So I went to Royal Brompton to learn. I started on the cardiothoracic ward, did HDU, did recovery, got a quality of improvement certificate, did some quality of improvement projects on the side, always on my spare time. And then I always wanted to go to ICU. So I saw a very interesting strategy and vision done by the governance team at St. Bart's Hospital, really embedded with research. I thought, okay, I'm gonna go there. And a lot of the consultants from Brompton were there. So I decided to go as well. And I've been there for 3 years. I really enjoyed it. I loved working with intensive care patients and cardiothoracic patients, ECMO patients, helping my colleagues and also, supporting each other. But the opportunities for you to progress are a little bit limited. But, I did my intensive care course and then I got a scholarship from the National Institute for Health Research. So I did some clinical academic and I did some research on the side. I did some publications, I did some presentations, and I really loved that experience. It was fantastic, enjoyed it so much. And then I applied for the pre-doctoral and I didn't got it. And in a way, I think it was great that I didn't got it. I feel bad saying this, but I don't feel so bad because I felt that I was not having the right environment at a clinical level to do this. Although I have a lot of very good support from a consulting and from a research background, I didn't have that much support from a clinical perspective. So I didn't want to work in an environment for another 2 years or 3 years in an environment that was not fit for that type of work. And so I decided to then just leave. So I left and I went to do my master's in public health at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. Was the 2 hardest years of my life because obviously COVID hit, so I went back to help my colleagues, doing some bank shifts and helping and supporting the unit during the first wave. But then because of opportunities came across, I did some Band 7 public health role as health protection. I also did some work with NHS Test and Trace, so I had other opportunities along the way, and that was great because I could progress really quickly while doing my master's. But the master's was really hard because obviously second year the wave hit even harder. Then everybody at home studied through cameras, Zoom, not really creating any network whatsoever, and for me it was just like very disappointing. And also it was very hard for me because the school is very much about writing, right? And I'm not a fantastic writer, so I had to learn a lot and go through a lot of hurdles to get my writing to a standard at least acceptable to that level. So it took a lot of time and effort, but also because you're competing at a different level as well. So I did, I was competing with people from Harvard, from Oxford, Cambridge, already with the embedded network since they were in university. They had all the opportunities and the internships that you can possibly imagine. And me, nurse, doing nursing discussions and essays that nobody wants to want. And there is some misconception about nursing as well. So I had all the odds against me. The COVID-19, working, no network, no support system. So it was really, really difficult at the time. But I think I found extremely helpful people that really helped me to go through some of the areas that I needed to improve, and I'm grateful that I really have done that work, have brushed up my skills, and things are getting easier as I go along. And that's it. You know, I by the way, I forgot to mention, I did healthcare innovation bootcamp at the MIT Harvard, and before I left the ITU as well. I loved it so much. It was the best thing I did. It was all about entrepreneurship and building your company, building ideas, and I loved it so much. And I think in a way it was kind of a breath of fresh air as well, like Fulbright, because the people are so different, so passionate, really willing to try new things, to fail, and it's just a different mindset that I don't see in the normal daily to daily basis. And so I really, you know, I really enjoyed it, and I still, you know, enjoy meeting those people after, you know, 3-4 years that I've already been through. Following my master's in public health, I got a job as a consultant in a private consultancy, doing some system and service improvement for the NHS, helping and educating clinicians. I really enjoyed my work. I could really put in practice the things that I've learned during my master's in health transformation, innovation, change, and the things that I've learned during my bootcamp, and obviously bringing as well some statistics and data science along the way, but unfortunately the culture of that company didn't really fit with my profile, and I decided to quit. But I also, because I saw that I could really brush up my data science skills and I could do much better work than I was currently doing. And also at the time, on my spare time, I was also participating in the European Health Parliament, doing some policy and collaborating with other very clever young people here in Europe, from policymakers, pharmaceuticals, academia, from people like me, clinicians, health economists, and many other experts to try and bring some policy recommendations for Europe. So we worked in innovation, workforce, and many other areas. And you know, I had the pleasure to go to Gastein representing our group and discuss the workforce with WHO, and I really enjoyed it. But it really opened my eyes, all this experience about the gap that we really have in nursing, because there was almost nobody there as a nurse, and the ones that were there, like one person was keeping quiet until I didn't say that I was a nurse. He didn't open his mouth to say that I was a nurse. So it's been very interesting to see these kind of trends when you reach to a certain level about, you know, lack of representation, leadership in nursing. But I wanted to share this with you, so if you go through this as well, you will see that this is not just you, it's other people that have seen these trends. And then, you know, I really enjoy doing that type of health policy work as well. And then I, you know, with all of that, I decided to take a year off. So I'm on a kind of a career break, and I decided to explore the things that I really wanted to explore, because in a way, I think it's because I'm not a person that wants to specialize in a specific area like nursing. I'm the kind of person that is like a cross, which is the new trends in the workforce in the world, which is people that, like me, are really enthusiastic, love to learn, and I like to bridge the gaps between different areas. So I like nursing, I also like public health, more innovation, change management, and, you know, policy. And then I also like data science, technology, so how can I embed that all together? And then I'll also like finance. So I'll probably be a person that will do these all things and try to bridge the gaps between them. And obviously those things take time, and you need to have time to build those skills. So the goal now is to really do this YouTube channel to really help other nurses and to empower other nurses to take ownership of their careers, but also to educate them and support them. So this is the type of support that I wish I had when I was, you know, just starting 10 years ago. But also because, you know, I wanted to make it accessible to everyone, the education and the opportunities that I have, you know, share with you some of the knowledge I've learned throughout the way, and hopefully share my journey, the ups and downs, and the difficulties that you find throughout the way. And yeah, I mean, that's what I want to share with you. And if you find this helpful, you know, share in the comments below if you're seeing this, you know, where are you from, what are you studying, you know, what is your goal in life, and you know, share with me what you're thinking about doing. You find this video helpful, and if yes, please comment. If no, please comment too. And I hope you know, I hope to create much more videos, and now you know what's my goal, what's my aim with this YouTube channel. And if you like it and if you want to follow me, please subscribe to my channel and like. Much more, you know, encouragement for me to carry on and continue my work. So I hope that you find this useful, and if you are willing to share also your experience and your career pathway with us, please share in the comments below. I would love to hear more about you. So I hope you enjoyed this video and you find this useful, and see you on the next video.